जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
A team that comes from the pink city is in the pink of health. Well, the Rajasthan Royals opened the floodgates in Guwahati, which is considered the gateway to the northeast of India. 200 the target for a hapless-looking Delhi Capitals. The Rajasthan Royals were having a bit of a party. Joy and Lisa Sthalekar joined me on Cricbuzz Live. Buttler Jaiswal, 60 of 31. Buttler stayed pretty much towards till the end as well, 79 of 51 for him. Rare failure for Sanju Samson. Riyan Parag is a story in himself. Shimron Hetmyer contributing 39 not out. Dhruv Jurel, first ball 6, finished with 8 not out of 3. It always looked like a 200-plus kind of score, especially given the way they started. 5 fours in that opening over. Buttler Jaiswal showing us that even with the straight bat, you can score and score big in this format, Joy.
Absolutely. And I think the way he took Khalil Ahmed apart was absolutely classical. Without any risks, all 5 fours on the ground, but beautifully hit, finding the gaps. One bad fielding, of course, and Delhi has not been great on the field, that you have to say. And then, of course, they let Joss Buttler off as well. But I think Delhi has actually, if you told them in the end of the 10th over that they'll be within 200, they'd be really happy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it that way, somehow the floodgates, I wouldn't say they've been totally contained, but Delhi would be happy chasing 200 given where they were, 68 for no loss after 6.
But that start just showed us that Buttler Jaiswal not just has the technique, but he has the appetite for big runs on the big stage.
Yeah, and there was actually a nice little clip that Royals put out of him actually kind of learning off Joss Buttler and him talking about it in a centre wicket. So the information sharing is certainly happening, and we can see the result that he's been able to produce not only last game but this game as well. And you look at the first 8 scoring shots in this match were all fours. So it kind of gives you an indication of what the pitch is like, how fast the outfield is, and that it's not going to be a bowler's paradise. But I thought Delhi did well to kind of keep it to what it was, because it was looking like potentially 240.
Yes, at one stage it did. It was a pretty good power play, but just the way Buttler Jaiswal and Joss Buttler started the innings, it looked like Delhi was sort of looking out of ideas. David Warner was looking out of sorts as well, and he wasn't sure where to go. At the 10-over mark, they were 100, past the 100-run mark as well.
Let's go back to that. Let's just have a look at that again, because that tells you a crazy story. 11 to 15, they are 5.4. And how many wickets are down in the entire innings? There were 2 wickets down at that point in time, and they were 5.4. So Sanju, it's a rare miss, it's happened. But, you know, at that point in time, Riyan Parag has also eaten up a lot of balls and not scored. And this total could have been 220 had it not been for that 11 to 15 blip. Because this blip can happen when you know, 6 wickets down suddenly or 5 wickets down. There were 2-3 wickets down at that point in time. So this is something that if you are Rajasthan, if this becomes a close match or in any way Delhi managed to win this match, that is the place where they lost that match.
Sanju Samson tried to play a big shot right up first, got holed out. It can happen because he backed himself. But then Riyan Parag at 4. When he got out, even DC were disappointed.
No, that's the point. You know, we were just looking at it. See, our belief is Shimron Hetmyer should bat, and he batted now also 13.5. That means he came in right at the end of the 14th over. And that's actually a great place for him, last 5. What do you not want Shimron Hetmyer to do? You don't want Shimron Hetmyer to think. Should I hit the ball? Should I not hit the ball? Should I start taking risks later? You want him to go and say, how hard can I whack this ball? So one of the reasons why they allow players like Hetmyer to come in that last 5-6 overs is it frees their mind. They know exactly what they have to do. The interesting one is Dhruv Jurel, because he also hit a 6 of his first ball. He looked really good, looked in touch. But I was looking at his stats. He bats a lot at UP at 6. He bats just after Rinku Singh at 6. So that's the question. Do you bat him ahead? Do you bat him out of position at 4 then?
What is Sangakkara's or Rajasthan Royals' obsession with Riyan Parag about? I don't know. Does anyone have an answer? He's a young man. We would never want to write off any player. But look, there's so much at stake. They've got to figure what they want to do with Riyan Parag.
Yeah, I think they've given him a really wrong rope, and right now it's not working out for them. Look, he's a young kid, he has potential, he can bowl a bit, he's a power hitter, but it hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out, and at some point in time they need to turn around and say it hasn't worked.
I think the issue is that throughout a season, he'll give you a couple of innings.
Yeah, tantalizing.
Yeah, where you go, oh, this is why we have him in our side. Let's keep him again. Maybe he'll come good next year. And again, he gives you those couple of innings. There's players like that even on a tour, an international tour, they may start really well or end really well, but everything in between is nothing. But there's enough in the memory bank where you go, oh, no, they're still okay. Yeah. And he's performed well at domestic cricket, but this is another level.
He's also a bit of a project, really, for Kumar Sangakkara. Apparently, he was told to go and bowl as well in domestic cricket. So clearly, there's something that Sangakkara sees in him that we fail to.
No, look, they've put in a lot of hard work. I'm sure the kid has put in a lot of hard work as well. But if you look at the quantum of opportunities in the best cricket league in the world, he's got way too many opportunities not to have justified his place. Many good cricketers have got the lesser opportunities at this and have already been cast in the wayside.
And if he needs any inspiration, look nowhere else but Jos Buttler, right up top. Finger injuries are good, Joy.
Jos Buttler just has a way, and I love the way. But look at what Lisa was saying. In the other end, Yashasvi Jaiswal is a sponge.
Yep.
He's learning every day, every minute. Sangakkara, Buttler, he's just absorbing everything that they have to give and taking in everything. So I think that is the one big thing that you have, that if Riyan Parag has to look as to what to do, look no further than that man, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and how he's improved. Because Yashasvi would do exactly the same. He'd hit a couple of really good knocks and then sort of suddenly be very inconsistent. And he has suddenly started becoming extremely consistent.
Jos Buttler got out in the 19th over. He scores at a fair clip, 155. I think his strike rate was 79 off 51, 11 fours. If you have a batter that's batting at that rate and he bats long, it's a win-win.
Yeah, and he knows how to do that as well. He knows how to bat long. This is where Sanju Samson can learn from him. Yep. You know, how to convert those 30s and 40s into something really big. 400s last year in the IPL, like crazy numbers Jos Buttler's been able to do. And you kind of wonder, okay, did it last year, can he do it again? And I mean, he started off exactly where he's left off. And even at the start of this innings, Jaiswal was going really hard, but so was Buttler in his own way. Nothing too crazy, still feeding a bit of the strike to him, and then just took over nicely. So that partnership is pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, shot selection is such a key trait, a key characteristic of Jos Buttler's performances. He's right up top of the pile of the orange cap contenders once again. And he's probably setting a template for how KL Rahul can bat as well. Bat long, bat fast.
Not just that, exactly what she said. You're starting off, Yashasvi Jaiswal's got 20 of the first overs. He's batting at 195. Jos Buttler was content to sort of be there.
Yep.
And just supply him a bit. Hit his own shots, but was there. Again, dominated in the middle because Riyan Parag and Sanju didn't get going. The moment Shimron Hetmyer comes back, he again takes his back seat and allows Shimron Hetmyer to do his thing. So 154 at that rate, the consistency plus that combination of consistency and strike rate is just amazing. It is unbelievable.
They cut to a shot of David Warner at the 10-over mark and he looked out of ideas. And it was Mukesh Kumar who sort of calmed his nerves a little bit, helped the captain breathe and think a little bit better. In the back 10, DC made a comeback of sorts, but Mukesh Kumar just stands out. 8 dot balls, gave away 36, picked up 2 wickets as well. Got the important breakthrough in his first spell. He's shown that he has the hunger and the gumption to bowl the tough overs when the opposition is going great guns.
No, I think he bowled really well. He's not by nature a bowler who bowls in the death, which is what we were talking about. So he got smashed for a 6 by Chirel. But really, he has that ability to take wickets, move the ball both ways, has a good slower ball. You'll see more and more of Mukesh Kumar in this tournament. And I think he's the one of the few bright spots that Delhi has. I thought him, Kuldeep Yadav, they were the bright spots that Delhi has.
But beyond numbers, Lisa, yes, decent numbers, 9 and over. But what did you make of his body language? It wasn't an easy outing for bowlers at all.
No, it's pretty hard when the first 8 scoring shots are fours. And you're there thinking, oh, don't throw me the ball. And you just think, okay, right, I've just got to forget about the external and just focus on what I need to do at the top of my mark where I'm going to pitch the ball. That's so easy to say because all of a sudden you've already lost 2 games, you won the toss, you put them in, you're expecting the bowlers to actually do something because you've actually decided to bowl first. Haven't necessarily done it, you're thinking, right, we're staring down 220, 230 plus. It's hard. I mean, as much as coaches will say, come on, lift your body language, it's really difficult when you're out there and you're going through all of those emotions. But as soon as you pick up a wicket, no matter what the situation is, it's a chance for everyone to come in together, a bit of a stoppage in play, someone senior to kind of go, it's okay. Remember, we still have to bat. We can chase down whatever they put on. And then all of a sudden you start to pick up a couple of wickets. And you felt that. And then they probably let things get away right at the back end.
Yes, they would have felt slightly better between the 11th and the 15th over where they gave away just 27 runs. It was 103 for 2 at the 10 over mark and just 130 at the 15 over mark. And we all thought maybe this innings will end at 170, 180. It wasn't to be. DC are now looking at a score of 200 to make sure they do not lose 3 in a row. Joy, Prithvi Shaw has to be brought in. He's got to have a big game.
Which also means somebody has won the sweepstakes. Somebody seems to have won the sweepstakes.
Applause everybody in the studio. No. There's seriously applauding.
There is actually fans here.
Yeah, well, just a fluke. Just a fluke. But look, Prithvi Shaw has got to switch it on. It's now or I don't know when, if not now.
I think Prithvi, there's a lot of batting out there. They need to start getting runs. He's just not got going. And I think the danger here is that Trent Boult can get you early as well. So Trent Boult is a very dangerous bowler up front. He has the best record of all bowlers in power play wickets. And I think that means that there is a challenge out there because Prithvi knows only one way to play the game. And look, I don't mind that because that's what's worked for him. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Yep.
If he was not the kind who would not attack you relentlessly, he wouldn't be regarded as a game changer. He is because he will attack you.
Trent Boult, clearly a quality bowler proven at the highest level. And when you've got 199 in the pocket, you will have your tails up. He is an absolute champion in the power play overs, as these numbers suggest.
Yeah, and the reason why he is because he gets the ball to talk. And if you can get the ball to swing or seam around, any of those type of skills, you are a handful. Whilst he hasn't necessarily got the pace like some of the quickest men going around, very skillful with his wrist position. And if he can get the ball to shape back in, he'll cause havoc because we know Prithvi Shaw stays leg side of the ball and likes to free his arms. He could really cramp him up and cause him some problems.
They say it's very difficult to change technique in the middle of a tournament. Can a slight adjustment be made? Does he open his stance a little bit? Maybe avoid playing too much inside out?
I think instincts will always take over. But if you can make a change from a guard position, so whether it be off stump, middle stump, leg stump, even outside leg, just to change where you think the stumps are and to open up different areas, that's an easier change during a tournament. But instincts have been built for a long period of time. So ball bounces a certain thing away. It doesn't matter if there's 10 fielders there. You probably still back yourself to hit it. And Prithvi Shaw has got that type of temperament.
You reckon he should give Boult the charge to go down the track and just try and upset his rhythm a little bit?
No, I think what can happen is exactly either change the stance a bit because muscle memory doesn't change. So you can change your starting position because your muscle memory is impossible to change.
Yeah.
But what you also can do sometimes, which Hayden used to do sometimes, is bat just a little bit ahead so that you're giving the ball a little less place to swing. So sometimes those adjustments, little less chance for getting your chance of getting LB nowadays. Of course, now with DRS and all that, you can get LBW far down the pitch, but you're just reducing those chances if you move slightly further up. But those are all adjustments that you'll have to think about. I think what Prithvi needs to do is just first bat with an open mind, clear mind, saying, okay, whatever has happened, he needs to think like what we call a footballer striker. You don't think about your last misses, think about when the ball is in your court now.
Joy is an important integral part of the fantasy industry in India. And so a lot of these fantasy players, Joy, are wondering who they'd want to pick in this mini battle, this matchup between Trent Boult and Prithvi Shaw. Who are you going with?
Look, I always go, here's my point. I go with bowlers and I'll tell you why. A bowler needs to be right once.
True. That's a good point.
There's a reason he's the Director General.
Yeah.
Tweet to the Director General for more fantasy tips. There's another matchup that we must talk about. David Warner versus Ravichandran Ashwin. Any cricket fan will want to stay tuned when these two are going head against each other. Ashwin clearly could be a weapon in the power play against Warner. He's been dismissed thrice against Ashwin.
Yeah, and the strike rate as well, really important, 108. So there's been enough balls as well bowled to him, so it's not just a handful, it's a decent amount. And it's simply because, you know, he's a clever bowler in how he moves around his crease, so where he releases the ball, and then also his line. So I think he'll look to really tie him up, kind of bowl that really tight line because he likes to free his arms. And then if he wants to kind of see if he wants to go for the bait, he'll throw one out because Ashwin is that type of bowler. He's like, are you good enough on this day? You know, he assesses the conditions. Hang on, Warner, you're the only one scoring runs for this Delhi side. Do you want to take a risk right now? It's like that type of conversation is happening out there without any words being spoken. It's about field placements and just the subtle changes of him tossing the ball up, then darting it in.
I've been told he spent a fair bit of time practicing the switch hit in the nets. You see that coming out tonight?
Yeah, it possibly could. And Warner does tend to go to that. That's a shot that has been successful for him. And it upsets. There's nothing more than upsets a right-hand offie with someone switch hitting because you're like, that's my ball. That's the line and length I want to bowl all the time. And you're able to get away with that for four.
Does Ashwin have the edge?
I don't think, not on this pitch unless it starts to just grip and turn a little bit.
No, also I'm saying that, you know, if you look at David Warner is as close to an ambidextrous person as you'll find, which is why his switch hit is so good. He could literally bat both left-handed and
I have bowled to him when he's batted right.
And you got him out?
No, it's quite demoralising actually. I'm like, oh, okay, whack me right-handed. Okay.
So he's as close to that as you'll find. So it's very difficult to tie him down, but exactly what she's saying. He doesn't like to take risks up front. What he likes to do is cut and, you know, get space so he can place the ball. Ashwin will restrict that. Say, come very tight. Then say, okay, now you've got to hit me, you've got to take chances. So that's what Ashwin is trying to do to him, saying, take chances against me. And he'll be calculating who's there left, is Riley in form, so-and-so in form. Can I afford to take this risk? That's the game he plays. And that way Ashwin, these are two master tacticians going against each other.
Great battle on the cards. However, that first matchup has been decided. Bolt has gotten rid of Prithvi Shaw. It's not looking good for Delhi. You guys need to pull out your calculators now and give me your power play scores.
Oh, we've got
Quickly.
an advantage.
45.
Okay.
I feel they still have to go hard. So 57.
I'm going to say, sorry DC, it's going to be 30. Third loss, staring at the Delhi Capitals. Well, if David Warner is ambidextrous, so am I. I can say bye with both hands. Goodbye. We'll see you at the end of this innings.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें